You've seen the tubs. You know the promise. That electric buzz you get before a huge workout? That's what they're selling. Pre-workout supplements are everywhere, promising to unlock your absolute best performance. But have you ever stopped to ask what's really in that scoop? The marketing is intense, right? They promise you'll turn into some kind of superhuman. It's supposed to be the key to your strongest lift, your fastest run, but is it?
Because once you spin that flashy container around and look at the fine print, well, the story starts to change. So let's cut through the hype and actually look at the science.
Okay, get ready for this number. A huge analysis of the top 100 pre-workouts on the market found that almost half of all the ingredients were hidden inside something called a proprietary blend. That's just a fancy marketing term for, we're not going to tell you how much of each ingredient is in here. It's a company secret.
And that's the real kicker, isn't it? If the dose of an ingredient is what actually gives you the benefit, how can you possibly know if you're getting enough to do anything? Let's break down the big players and see what the evidence really says.
All right, first up, the one we all know and definitely feel, caffeine. It is the absolute backbone of pretty much every pre-workout out there.
So how does it work? To put it simply, caffeine basically tricks your brain into thinking you're less tired than you are. It makes hard work feel easier. It is a proven performance booster. But, and this is a huge but, it only really works if you get the dose right.
And this chart right here shows the problem perfectly. The science says an effective dose is somewhere between 3 and 6 milligrams per kilogram of your body weight. So for a 70-kilo person, that's about 210 to 420 milligrams. The average product has 254. See that? It's technically in the range, but it's scraping the absolute bottom. For a lot of people, that's just not going to cut it.
Okay, next up, let's talk about the stuff that promises that satisfying muscle pump and helps you push through those last killer reps.
You know that tingly feeling you sometimes get from a pre-workout? Yeah, that's this stuff, beta-alanine. It's actually pretty cool. It helps your muscles fight off that burning feeling, letting you go harder for longer. It's a fantastic ingredient for endurance.
But look at this gap. The research is clear. You need about 4 grams to get the real benefit. The average pre-workout, it has 2, exactly half of what you need. This is what we call label dressing. They put just enough in there to list it as an ingredient, but not enough for it to actually work. It's just for show.
Now for the pump. Companies usually use one of two things, arginine or citrulline, but they are not the same at all. Think of it like this. Taking arginine is like taking a road with a ton of traffic and stoplights. A lot of it gets lost along the way. Citrulline? That's the express lane. It gets to where it needs to go, making it way more effective. It's just the smarter ingredient.
And surprise, surprise, it's the same story all over again. The dose that's proven to work is 6 grams. What's in the average product? Only 4. We're seeing a pattern here. The right ideas, but the wrong ineffective amounts.
All right, let's move on to the undisputed king of strength supplements, creatine.
Seriously, there are thousands of studies on this stuff. Creatine is safe, it's effective, and it absolutely works for building strength and power. But here's the catch with finding it in a pre-workout. For creatine to really do its job, you need a consistent 3 to 5 grams every single day. Just tossing a gram or two into a pre-workout formula isn't going to get you the results you're looking for.
So let's just pause and make this crystal clear. This is the big takeaway. The presence of an ingredient on a label means almost nothing. It's the dose that delivers the benefit. And the science shows that a whole lot of products are just not delivering.
Okay, so we've looked at what's in the tub, but here's a twist. What if the most powerful factors aren't even on the label at all? I know that sounds a little crazy, but the power of your own belief, what scientists call the placebo effect, is a very real, very documented thing in sports. Just look at this quote from a 2016 study. When athletes were given a totally fake pill, a placebo, but were told it was caffeine, their strength shot up by over 11%. That's a massive improvement from literally nothing but their own mind. Just the ritual of mixing a drink and telling yourself it's go time can have a powerful effect all by itself. And then there's you, your personal DNA. You have a specific gene that decides if you're a fast or slow processor of caffeine. So that same 250 milligram scoop could feel like a rocket launch to your friend, but for you, it might as well be decaf. It's all in your genes.
So, with all of this stuff to think about, secret blends, low doses, placebos, genetics, how are you supposed to make a smart choice? Well, here's a simple 3-step playbook.
First,
Demand transparency. If a company uses a proprietary blend and won't tell you exactly what's inside, just walk away. Second, check the doses. You know the effective numbers for the big ingredients now, so compare them to what's on the label. And third, match the ingredients to your goal. Need endurance? Look for that beta-alanine. Chasing strength? Make sure you're getting creatine separately.
And that really brings us to the final and honestly the most important point of this entire breakdown.
That's it. Knowing what actually works, knowing the right dose, and knowing what you're trying to achieve, that is the real secret. Don't fall for the hype. Read the label, understand the science, and take control of your results. That's how you unlock your real potential.